Hello, this is a 2001 Ford Taurus, and I just bought it, and the AC was not holding a charge. This car only has 43,000 miles. I picked it up off someone who barely drove it, and that's the fill right there. So you have what's called the low side and the high side. You might be able to see that I have some liquid inside the high side right now, and if you're gonna refill, you're gonna use something like this, and you're gonna get the proper amount of pressure. One of the reasons they don't work is because people put in too much of this stuff and it's in the red zone, but also it can be in the low zone. So if you fill it up and you get the compressor to start engaging, probably the compressor's good, but there could be a leak. I had detailed the car, washed the engine, I had refilled this, and I left the cap off. Water got inside there, like here. And a friend of mine was here and he said, "Oh, you left your cap off. What's up with that though? There's bubbles coming out of there." So there were bubbles coming out of there. So I went down and I bought a high and low side service port repair kit, which comes with a little tool to remove these. Unfortunately, this is the one that came with the kit. You can see it's obviously quite a bit smaller. So the chances are I could tighten it up and maybe it'll work. You have some seals. You obviously have this one seal here on the bottom. You can kind of see that. But then when you compress the valve, it's a little bit bent, but you can see when I compress it, as if I were compressing it right now, you can see how that's going to go up and allow Freon to go in and then close down again. So you have another set of seals on the inside of that. One or the other sets of those seals is bad. There's no point in spending $30 or $40 or $50 a can for Freon when the stuff's just bubbling out. That's not bubbling out, but it's also not the correct size, so I'll have to get the correct size, which, you know, who knows, maybe I'll go to a pick and pull and just pull one out of some other car, try to find it and order it. In any case, it's been a great little car. I just wanted to show one other little thing. Car had been sitting for about 10 years. You can see all the tires have almost all their tread. However, they're old tires. How do you know they're old tires? On the side of a tire, you have a thing called the date code. It's 4 numbers, and in this case, 3210. Now, the first 2 numbers are the week of the year. The second 2 numbers are the year. This is the 32nd week of 2010. Being that this is July of 2022, that means that these tires are over 12 years old. So even though they have all the tread, and the Carfax says the person who owned the car barely ever drove it, fact of the matter is, this car had all original plugs, had original air filter, has original everything practically. It runs pretty good, but I changed the plugs, did a lot of tune-up and stuff, and it runs fantastic. Had a lot of rust in there. I flushed that out because, you know, it's been sitting for 10 years. But that one is a new one on me. I had never heard of that before, and it's apparently it's something that can cause you to have a leak. So pay attention to that. Just throw a little water in those things and see if it bubbles up. And if it bubbles up, you could just tighten it up and try that, or just replace the Schrader valve.